Hey y'all, real, not that, I'm gonna say a short video. And I just wanted to recap what I was talking about earlier about, I'm gonna make this part 2 of focus on the child first. Focus or put the child first or something like that. Part 2, put the child first or focus on the child first. And I think everything will work out good. When I spoke to the person yesterday that was kind of, was complaining, but he was, I think, not complaining, but yeah, I'm going to say that. And he did, before I didn't even say anything, I just listened to him, and he did, when he was complaining about him, in between him and his child's mother or his ex-wife, about what she coulda shoulda done and this and that on her week of having the child, with the little, I call them a baby, but the young child's sports and all that stuff like that, shoulda took them to practice and did this and that. And then he did take ownership, and I really love that he took ownership as an adult, man or woman, the mom or the dad, taking ownership and saying, you know what? He said, I take the blame for it. He said, it's on me. He said, I should have just went on ahead and took him myself. And it's just about being a bigger person for who? Your child. Doesn't matter who. Just do what you got to do for your child. And just, it's cool. It doesn't matter if it should be where y'all both equally have the responsibilities. And then even when let's say you're with somebody in however y'all want to do a relationship, if y'all don't want to get married, that's on y'all, whatever. If you're in a marriage or whatever, you're in a relationship with somebody, y'all have a child, y'all love each other, this and that, right? Y'all keeping y'all thing together. Sometimes one person might have to work more than the other person, or whatever. And then sometimes you might have more the responsibility of this or that for the child. It doesn't mean that person loves that child any less, and they may try to do the best they can to show up here and there for the child. But sometimes you have to just sacrifice, and we all have to do a little. We all should do a little sacrificing, or a lot. Whatever you can do for your child. You just got them for 17, 18 years, right? And that's it. And they're grown, and then you wish you would have made some sacrifices for them if you never had, okay? You wish you would have put the time in with them and stuff like that. It's not that serious, y'all. Let's let our selfish ways go when it comes to our children. I don't care what, this is another thing, I don't care what your child has to tell you. Listen to them. I don't care how you feel. Listen to them. Now, if you hurt so bad, you just say, be nice and kind. Be like, baby, I'm feeling this kind of way right now, but please, try your best to listen. But if like, baby, can you please, just let mama rest for a while. Let daddy rest for a while. I'll come check on you in a little bit. I just really need time. If you need to take something for your head or whatever, take that. Rest for about an hour or two, if you can, and then get back with your child. Always make sure to make that child, especially the smaller they are, the younger they are, because that really matters to them. That means for a child, for them knowing, being in the safety and comfort of, and being in your secureness. I think I'm saying y'all get what I'm trying to say. Them being safe and comfortable and secure around you means so much to them while they're growing up, okay? So sometimes you gotta check them sometimes, but that means so much to them. They can trust you with anything, okay? And I'm telling you, I don't know everything, but I know that's some stuff that works, okay? So this is just my advice. This is just the way I'm thinking about things. Y'all let me know if that makes sense. And yeah, I just, I love the kids, and I just want the best for them. And we can do better, y'all. We can do better. Because I know, like I said, sometimes you get in your feelings, but I'm so happy that guy let me know today that, he listened to me. Because at first, I think, like I was saying, he spoke to his ex and let her know, like, hey, I do this and I do what I'm supposed to be doing all this time. I just need for you to, I can remind you. He didn't just go in on her and stuff like that. He said, hey, you got this and that going on, whatever, let me know. And then I can make time to do blah, 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 blah. And then if, it didn't work, like I told him, I said, hey, if he misses the child, if they miss this one practice, that's on them. That's on them. He said it's on him. And if he want to take responsibility for that, that's cool. But I said it's on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have to remind each other. Sometimes, this person's calendar can be so full and your calendar is so full. But a lot of people that have kids, they're trying to live their life. They're trying to live their life and not thinking about the child as much. Not saying they don't. They love their kids. Don't get it wrong. They love their kids now. Don't you say anything about them kids, and don't you do nothing to them, because they'll be on your butt. Okay? Don't mess with people's kids. Okay? Don't mess with them. And because they don't play about their kids, even if they don't show up to PTA meetings and band meetings and stuff like that. They'll jump on you when it comes to their kids. Okay? And but yeah, let's just do a little bit better, because I know some people, I get it, you want to take your vacations, your trips and stuff like that. I take my vacations and trips and stuff, but I make sure my son is good first. I make sure he's good first, and if he's good, then I can plan accordingly. I got to see what he has going on first with his schooling and all that stuff like that. He didn't have that much longer, he's on up in age, so in the next couple years, he'll be probably doing his own thing, and I won't have to be concerned about him as much, but I'll still definitely be checking on him a lot. When he's off driving and doing his own thing, I'm definitely gonna be checking on him. But yeah, y'all, we gotta, when they're young, especially if y'all not together. If y'all together, I have a cousin, him and his wife. I think it's kind of cool because him and his wife, they do a lot, but they take the kids. They had them kids when they was a baby. They were everywhere together. Like, they didn't hold back on having fun. And because they were married, they had other, they knew other couples that they would do a lot of different activities with, whether it's for the kids, so the kids would have something to do and they would have something to do. Always pick something fun to do, So, yeah, I thought that was cool. So they never had to really, they sacrificed, but they definitely sacrificed, because those kids are in all kind of activities. And they sacrifice. Because if you sacrifice for your kids, some people don't do it. Look, you sacrifice your kids, think about all the greats. A lot of those people do sacrifice for their kids. Some people's situation have been great, but somebody had to go with them to practices, to rehearsals and different things like that. Somebody had to take them. You know what I'm saying? And hey, a lot of times it might have been parents and stuff like that, whether they were single or whether they was in relationships. There's a number of single parents, probably more than likely moms, who raised their sons and took them. And I'm not saying single mom is better than single dad or vice versa, okay? I know some great single dads, so I'm not going there, okay? I don't do that on my channel, okay, y'all? I want the best for everybody. There's enough of that division stuff. I don't like it. Let's not do that. Let's start getting along. Let's start having each other's back. Let's be better, y'all, as a whole, all right? And I will talk about that more. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, but let's stop all the division stuff. And, men and women, like, that is crazy. Oh, my God. Somebody, I was listening to something, and I never really thought about this, with all the AI videos. Sometimes you can't decipher whether it's real or not. And I was telling some of the older people in my family, I said, look, with technology is great, AI is great, it's cool. You just got the good things, just like a person. You got some good people, then you got some things, you got got some crooked people, con artists and stuff like that. You got people making videos. And, you know, AI is altered, you know. I guess an altered form of reality, or it's not reality, but it looks like it is sometimes. And it's cool to use, but imitating real people. So you could literally, yes, you have these podcasts with these men bashing women, and then you got some women bashing men. Look, I understand. Somebody hurt you, or they hurt somebody you knew, and now you're taking it out on everybody. I get it. You look, when somebody does you wrong, man or woman, or they even think about doing you wrong, you need to check them off the bat, okay? I'm gonna make a video about that, but y'all, let's do better. Let's do better. There's some great women out here, some good women. You need to ask yourself, as either a man or woman, there's some great men, good men out here. You gotta ask yourself, as a man or a woman, how are you? Are you good? Are you a good person? And why do you keep attracting people that suck? You gotta ask yourself, and then why are you keeping allowing people that suck in your life? You have to check people. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Now there are some people, you know, it might not be. It ain't you. I'm not talking about you. There's some men, and I'm gonna use my son for example. Most people, if you raise sons, you know, they will try to get over on you sometimes. There are some sons they don't ever do that, but for the most part, every time I talk, they like, yeah, they try to, you know, little games here and there, whatever. I kind of look at some men like that, and then as they mature and stuff like that, they do less of that. You know, and it might not be nothing as like malicious, but they might try a little something, you know, nothing that is gonna hurt anybody, but they testosterone, you know, you gotta you gotta find something to do, so you won't, if you get bored, you don't need, I don't think, for me, I just don't think men need to sit around bored. Boys either, they need to find something that you like to do that's healthy. Okay, help somebody. You do something, you know what I'm saying? Not just, you don't just gotta go to the gym. Actually go do something, like, I don't know, do something to help somebody or whatever, you know. Learn something, educate yourself more, do something, and that way you can kind of keep your mind a little busy, and then start listening to a positive podcast, guys that are actually doing something well. If they're dogging women out, you gotta cut that out. I had to cut out. I was listening to this one girl. Now, she had some valid points, but it's like I'm looking at this stuff not as, oh, men are this, men are that, and all that stuff like that. I mean, some stuff I get it now, but it was like with this Pick Misha stuff. Look, I'm far from a Pick Misha. You hear me? Far from it. But and I don't agree with the Pick Misha-ish type stuff or whatever, you know. But some women, that's where they are. If they ask for my advice, I will let them know how I feel about that. I grew up differently, so I don't see things in a Pick Misha way. I don't see things in that way, but I also wasn't raised in a way where we dogged the men out in our family. If a guy was just not a good guy to be with, he just wasn't a good guy to be with, and we left him alone. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Didn't make us want to dog all men out. And the same thing with men. That's not the way the men in my family were raised. Now, I can't speak for them, but that's just not the way. That's crazy to me, y'all. But anyways, going back to the children, let's be there for our kids, children or whatever, and listen to them, sacrifice for them. It ain't that long. It seems like it's a long time. You want to get out here, do whatever, you get your groove on, your groove, honey. I can do what I want to do when my son get 18, you hear me? But for now, or I'm chilled out. Like, it's not that serious. I go on a trip when I can. I take trips when I can. I go on vacation when I can. When I know he has nothing going on, okay? And it is what it is. I can look back. So 10 years from now or 20 years from now, my son is gone, I can look back and I can be proud of myself, and I can say, you know what, I did all that I knew to do, all that I could do for my child. Even when now, if I'm thinking like, okay, I can do this more, I can do that. But I don't get, you don't have to beat yourself up if you didn't do something, because we don't know everything as parents, okay? But you just learn from there what you can do better. You go from there, and then you just do better, okay? You just take it one day at a time. And if you are wrong about something, and you do something, whatever, and it's got something to do with your child. If you are in the wrong, you immediately need to tell your child, you know what? I thought I was right, but I was wrong. I apologize. Apologize to your children when you are wrong. Also, apologize to your significant other, or your, if it's your ex that you have a child with, or whoever the child's father or mother is. If you are wrong about something and maybe you gave them hell about it, or whatever the situation, apologize to them. They might not accept it right then and there, but just let them know, look, I'm very sincere, and this is something I'm definitely I'm gonna be better, and you do better, okay? You do better. All right, y'all, let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And this one is gonna be put the children first, or focus on your child. I think it's gonna be focus on your child too. All right, y'all.